everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and we're working on the last video in our Country Life cartridge series, and we're going to be using the banner feature. And I decided I was going to use the banner feature on the font because I'm going to make a banner for my craft room, and I already have everything cut out, but I wanted to show you first, back on page 76 and 77, the banner, there's a kind of like a shadow, and I'll show you what I mean in a second, but it's kind of like a shadow that you can use with your font banners. So I cut out 3 of the scalloped one. This one's a solid one. This one on page 77 is more of a like a rickrack kind of look, and then this one is also a rickrack but a little bit tighter cut there. So you can use these with your fonts, banner font cuts. So I did the CWC, and I will take you over to the Cricut and I'll show you how to do this. Since I already have it cut out, I'm just going to show you how to do it once. So, but I just quickly want to show you before we start putting cutting and then putting together. This is what I meant. This is the font cut in the banner, and then this is the scallop one on page 76, which is this one. So that's the font key with the shift option. So, and I cut these out at fit to page. So let's head over to the Cricut and I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so the first cut we're going to do is this one on page 76, and that's the scallop banner. So I'm going to start off, and this is just to show you, I already have these done, but this is just to show you how I did the cuts. And basically what I did was I'm using the font key, and I'm going to hit the fit to page feature key, because I want this to be as big as I can make it onto a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. So I'm going to use page 76, and we're going to use the shift key, and it's this image right here, and you'll see it pop up here on your screen. And I'm going to select the OK button. And it's going to calculate that this is going to cut it out at 11.5 inches. Now I'm going to remember that because later on I'm going to turn off my fit to page button, and I'm going to change my dial size to 11.5. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut out, and remember this is the scallop layer, which is kind of like the shadow to your font. Okay, so here's the scallop layer. Okay, and what I'm gonna do next is I added another piece of pattern paper to my mat here. I'm gonna turn off the fit to page, and then I'm gonna change your dial size to 11.5 inches. So I already have mine set at 11.5 inches. We're using the font feature again, and this time I'm going to be cutting one of the alphabets. So let's just we're on B, so we'll just go ahead and do that one. We'll just pick one from here. So I have the font feature selected. I'm going to hit the shift key, and I'm just going to pick any letter to do this. So I'm just hitting the A. So, and you'll see that this one does not have a scallop. It's a straight cut, but it's going to cut out the A in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Remember, I turned off the fit to page and set my dial size now at 11.5 inches. It's the same size that we cut this scallop piece at. Okay, so now we have our main piece, or our main layer, top layer, which is our font layer, and then our scallop layer. So we'll go ahead and adhere this. And remember, when you're doing this, and you'll see that I'm going to do this with one of the letters I cut out for this, but you remember have to use this centerpiece here. So I'll show you how I'm going to work with pieces like that. Alright, so let's head back over to my craft table, and we'll go ahead and get started putting my banner together. Okay, so now that you know how to cut everything out, we're going to go ahead and start assembling my banner. I cut out CWC for Creations with Christina, and I'm going to use this in my craft room to go on a shelf that I have here that just needs a little decoration. I thought it can go right underneath. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my ATG gun and adhere this down, and I'm going to try to get as close to some of these letters as I can. So what you do first is you start by lining up the holes. And I'm not working on my craft mat today. I'm just working on my glass top. So I'm going to start lining up the holes, and once they're lined up, the rest of your banner will go right together. Okay, so that's the first one. Let me do the other C. Alright, now for my W, I have to show you this because I'm not sure why it cuts like this, especially if we're going to be using this as a banner. This is how the W cut out. It doesn't look like a W to me. So what I'm going to do is adhere it down, and I saved the pieces. I saved the W and then the pieces that cut out with it to put it together to make it like look like a W. I have no idea why it does this on this cut. You would think that it would cut a little bit, you know, cut it out better, but you know, we work with what we got here. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this one down. Got too much adhesive on this one. So I'm going to line up my holes. Just like that. And now I have my 2-way glue pen, so I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this piece down because I forgot to put my ATG glue on there. Okay, so that's that. So now what I'm going to do is place my W in here that cut out, and I'm going to go ahead and then put my pieces in, like this little tiny piece for the center. I'm going to use my end of my quick stick pen here. There we go. And then I'll do the same thing for this piece, and then at least now then it'll look like a W. So I'll adhere this one in there. Then I have one more to do. And then we'll go ahead and start decorating this. And then I'll pull up this W. There. So now it looks like a W. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is, I did pull out some of these extra large grommets from We Are Memory Keepers, and I am going to use my Crop-A-Dile to attach them into the holes. So I didn't have to punch these holes any bigger. They're already, you know, big enough for the Crop-A-Dile. So I'm just going to go ahead and set these with my Crop-A-Dile here. Maybe. I think I might have this on the wrong setting. So let me try that again. There we go. Okay, so just so in case you want to know what setting I'm using the D setting, and let's see, what setting is this one? 4. So D and 4. I don't know if that's right or not, or what, but it works for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and set the grommets on all 3 of my banner pieces. And then we'll go ahead, I have some flowers and I want to add to this. Okay, so I have my 3 pieces all with the grommets are now all put in, and now I'm going to go ahead and do some decorating. I have my hot glue gun set up here, and what I'm going to do is add these flowers that that I have. They're actually from like sewing notions that they come in yards. My mother gave this to me. I don't know where she got it, so I got a piece of hot glue on this one. I'm just going to cut it off. So I'm not sure where she got it, but it comes in like a strip of these flowers. They're fabric, and it actually looks like this. It comes with the organza in the back, and then it's a whole line of them. So I had just enough to do what I wanted to do here on my banner. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of lay out a pattern here. So like I said, I have 3 of them. I'm just going to randomly put them in different spots on my banner, and I think I like it like that. And then I also have these flowers. They came from Michael's Their Recollections. So I thought I could just put these in the center to kind of give them a little bit of character. And then I have some of this Prima bling, or this is actually Recollections bling, and it was one piece, and I cut it into 3 different ones, so I had enough to go on all 3 of my banner pieces here. So I'm just going to kind of lay these out underneath these flowers. So I think that one is going to go like that. So it's going to look like this. So I'm going to go ahead and start first with my little bling here and set that down, and then I'll go ahead and do all of the flowers. So I'm just going to put this one right underneath and over my C, which that's okay. And then I'm going to use my hot glue gun to adhere this piece down. And then I'll put my little piece on the back here, just like that. So I'm going to do the other two banner pieces. And later on I might even go back. For now I'm just going to leave it like this, but I might go back and add little tags or little sayings to this, like phrases, maybe create and those kind of scrappy related phrases. So just watch you don't burn your fingers when you're using your hot glue gun. And I love these little recollections flowers. They have little crocheted centers. So, alright, so my C and my W are done. I'm going to do my last C, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to tie these together. So I'm going to glue this one down. Just like that. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do right now is just go ahead and start tying these together. I have some of this sheer pink ribbon, and I'm going to first start on this end, my C, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this in. I'm going to actually cut this at an angle here. So I'm going to put this in from the front to the back, and I'm just going to tie this one in a knot. Like I said, I don't want this to be a long banner, so I'm not going to really leave too much space. So, but this is going to be the piece that will be the end piece that will kind of tie off on the side here. So I'm just going to cut that piece off. And then I'm going to take my last C, and on the last hole, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to tie, so these are kind of like the tails and the ends. So I'm going to feed this through and just put a knot on the end. Just like that. And then I will trim off a nice long piece. So now what I'm going to do to adhere the three of these together is I'm going to take the same ribbon I'm using, and it's hard to tell, this is a very light pink. It's hard to see that. But I'm going to feed this through and tie them together. So let's see, I'm going to take a nice long piece, maybe this long. So I would say that's probably about 15 inches or so. I'm not really sure. I'm not really good at measuring. So I'm now feeding my ribbon in through my middle banner. And I try to do it without cutting it at an angle, but it works much easier if you cut it at an angle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is tie these together in a bow. So there we go. It's too loose. Alright, so I'm going to tie this in a bow. Alright, so I'll fiddle with that a little bit more later. And then my last piece, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tie these together. So I'll be right back and I'll show you what this looks like all done. Okay, so this is my banner that I did with the Country Life cartridge. And all I did was just finished up tying this one bow using the sheer ribbon. And now I'm going to go ahead and hang it up. And when I do, I'll take a picture of it and post it with, or put it with the end of the video. So thanks for watching another episode of Creations with Christina. I hope you enjoyed the Country Life cartridge series. Bye.